Researchers gave two groups of people the same amount of money and sent them shopping alone. One group spent nearly 40% more. The only difference? No one was watching them. No partner, no friend, no stranger glancing over their shoulder. Just them, their wallet, and a store full of things they suddenly, desperately needed. The moment no one is watching, your brain unlocks a completely different financial personality, one that has been quietly bankrupting you for years. It isn't weakness, it isn't impulsivity in the clinical sense. It is something older, something buried deep in the architecture of how humans evolved to function around other people. And once you understand what it actually is, you cannot unsee it. For most of human history, we lived in groups of roughly 50 to 150 people. Every decision you made, what you ate, what you wore, how you spent your energy, was visible to those people. Your choices were social signals whether you intended them to be or not. Status, belonging, generosity, and competence were all broadcast through behavior. The brain evolved to manage resources with an invisible audience in mind. Psychologists call the modern version of this audience affect social monitoring. When other people are present, or even when we simply believe they might be watching, we unconsciously regulate our behavior to match social expectations. We eat less, we work harder, we make more rational financial decisions. The presence of others acts like a governor on the engine of our impulses. Remove that governor and the engine runs hot. Studies from behavioral economics labs at Cornell, Chicago, and Stanford have all found the same pattern. Spending in isolation is structurally different from spending in company. Not just slightly different, categorically different. Alone shoppers buy more hedonic goods, things that feel good but serve no practical purpose. Pleasure items, comfort items, things that whisper rather than announce themselves. There is a reason so much of modern retail is designed around solitude. Online shopping, which is nearly always a solo act, has exploded precisely because it removes the social friction that used to slow us down. No cashier watching, no other shoppers nearby, no one to see the quantity or the category, just a click and a quiet dopamine spike at 11 p.m. in your bedroom. The industry knows exactly what it is doing. But here is where it gets more interesting than just blaming the internet. The effect is not uniform. It changes dramatically depending on what kind of alone you are. Research distinguishes between what scientists call chosen solitude and imposed solitude. When you choose to be alone, when you enjoy your own company, when you feel settled, the overspending effect is actually smaller. It is the people who feel lonely, disconnected, or socially anxious who spend the most when no one is watching. Loneliness, it turns out, is an extraordinarily expensive emotional state. A landmark study published in the Journal of Consumer Research found that lonely individuals spent significantly more on goods they described as comforting, soft, or warm, blankets, comfort food, stuffed objects, weighted items. The brain, deprived of social warmth, attempts to purchase a substitute. It is not metaphor. The same neural circuits that process physical warmth process social connection. This is why breakups are so expensive, why loneliness after a move to a new city drains bank accounts, why holidays spent alone quietly wreck budgets. The purchases are not random. They are targeted directly at the biological ache of disconnection. Your brain is not being irrational. It is trying to solve a real problem. It is just using the wrong tool entirely. There is a second mechanism layered underneath the loneliness effect, and it operates even in people who are perfectly content being alone. Psychologists call it self-concept maintenance. When others are watching, your self-image is partly managed for you by their gaze. Their presence reminds you wordlessly of who you are supposed to be, responsible, measured, in control. When that external mirror disappears, the self-concept becomes slippery. This is why people make financial decisions alone that they would never make in front of a partner or friend. It is not that they are hiding something. It is that the version of themselves that exists in solitude is genuinely less anchored to their stated values. Every financial advisor who has ever worked with couples knows the pattern. The solo purchases that surface months later, not from deception, but from a kind of identity drift that happens in private. There is also the matter of decision fatigue interacting with solitude in a way almost no one accounts for. When you are with other people, social interaction, even mild, pleasant interaction, keeps certain cognitive systems active. You are tracking expressions, managing conversation, anticipating responses. This low-level social processing actually maintains executive function. Alone with no social engagement, decision-making circuits run slower and impulse control degrades faster over the course of a day. This is why late-night solo shopping is such a precise disaster. It is not just that the social audience is gone. It is that cognitive resources are genuinely depleted. The self-concept is at its loosest, and the emotional system, which operates on a longer burn cycle, may still be carrying the weight of whatever loneliness or stress accumulated during the day. Every e-commerce platform optimized for late-night conversion knows this. They built their entire checkout flow around it. So what does any of this actually mean for how you live? The first and most powerful thing you can do is audit your solo spending separately from your joint or social spending. Most people look at a monthly budget as one undifferentiated blob, but the data suggests those two categories are driven by entirely different psychological engines and need to be managed differently. Solitude spending is emotional spending, almost by definition, and it needs emotional tools to address it. The second insight is about architecture rather than willpower. Willpower is the last line of defense and the least reliable one. Architecture means redesigning the conditions under which you are alone with your money. It means logged-out apps, one-click purchasing turned off, a waiting period enforced not by discipline but by friction. The research on friction is unambiguous. Even a 24-hour delay between impulse and purchase eliminates the majority of solo impulse buys. Third, and this is the finding that surprises people most, social connection before a solo shopping session measurably reduces overspending. Not connection during, just before. A brief, genuine interaction with another person re-anchors the self-concept, activates social monitoring at a low level, and appears to reduce the emotional deficit that drives compensatory purchasing. A phone call before grocery shopping. A conversation before opening a browser. It sounds almost too simple to be real. The studies say otherwise. What makes all of this genuinely unsettling is how invisible the process is. You do not feel yourself shifting into a different financial personality when you close the door. There is no alarm, no warning light. You simply become someone with slightly different values, slightly looser constraints, and a brain that is very good at generating reasons why this particular purchase, right now, makes complete sense. The justifications feel rational. They are not. Every purchase you have ever made alone that you later regretted, every cart you filled at midnight and felt vaguely confused by in the morning, every comfort buy that sat unopened in a box, that was not a failure of character. That was a system running exactly as designed. A brain built for social accountability, operating in conditions it was never designed for, trying to solve emotional problems with financial tools. Understanding the mechanism does not excuse it, but it does finally explain it.